back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Bellator's welterweight champion Douglas Lima is looking to prove he's one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters against Rory MacDonald. He said in an interview, he said, "I'm healthy and injury-free, and that is a win in itself because I've been training since I beat Lorenz Larkin. I was expecting to fight Rory in November. I was ready, but they scheduled it for January. So I'm about this. I have no injuries. I've been training non-stop, improving on what I can. Let's go. Let's get this guy. Let's knock this guy out and prove to everyone that I belong in the top 5. And if the top 5, I mean, he's not talking about top 5 of the welterweight division because he's already the champion of the Bellator welterweight division. He's talking about top 5 of all time. You know what I'm saying? Because check this out. Rory MacDonald, one of the UFC's top welterweight contenders, had a win over Robbie. No, he didn't have the win over Robbie Lawler. Sorry. But he did have a win over the current UFC welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley, the top dog of the UFC. And we all know UFC, as far as other MMA organizations are concerned, is the A-League. Bellator has always been number 2, and they're keeping that number 2 spot pushing. They're like setting the bar high, like they're taking away 3rd. There used to be like a 3rd in World Series of Fighting, but they done changed their name. I don't even know what their shit is anymore. I think it's like PFL if I'm not mistaken. But Bellator is like, they're trying to take that throne, bro. They're trying to take the number 1 spot. They've been signing every single person that the UFC is dropping. Bellator is signing, and even it ain't even just the people the UFC don't want anymore. You're crazy if you think that the UFC doesn't want Lorenz Larkin, Rory MacDonald, Gegard Mousasi. But the UFC, we all know, was just purchased for $4 billion, and they gotta make the money back. And sometimes fighters realize, you know, Bellator's paying now, I can get what I'm worth over there. So the UFC's got competition. So Bellator has some of the best fighters in the world in the welterweight division. Rory MacDonald win over Tyron Woodley. In the fucking middleweight division, Gegard Mousasi. If you don't think Gegard Mousasi's beating Michael Bisping, George St. Pierre, and Luke Rockhold, then you, or Robert Whittaker even, bro. To me, Gegard Mousasi, when he left the UFC, was number 1 pound for pound in the UFC. I mean, he hadn't got his opportunity to fight for the title, but he was beating this dude, and I know it's a little going off the past, but a lot of people don't know Gegard Mousasi's history, so they don't understand why I've got him rated that high. But if you know about Gegard Mousasi, you know Gegard Mousasi is one of the best fighters on the planet, and now he's under the Bellator banner. Rory MacDonald, I mean, it's a little more arguable to me. I know a lot of people rate Rory MacDonald higher than a Gegard Mousasi, but hey, it is what it is. Rory MacDonald has went through his roar with Robbie Lawler, but at the same time, he still got wins over some of the most elite welterweights in the UFC, and he's still young in the game, and he's still, like I said, one of the best welterweights in the world. So if Douglas Lima can beat Rory MacDonald, he'll have a win over the guy that's the current UFC champion, and you know, he just wants some recognition. Douglas Lima, before Bellator started getting all these signings, didn't really get no respect. But he's saying, if I beat Rory MacDonald, put some motherfucking respect on my name, because there's a lot more eyes on Bellator right now, and especially this fight, January 20th. Fucking, you got Chell P versus Rampage on this card. There's another big fight, Michael Chandler versus Goiti Yamauchi. Holy smokes, I literally need 2 TVs for this night, or 2 computer screens, or whatever the hell you want to say, because I gotta have Bellator with Chell P up on one screen, and I gotta have UFC with Stipe Ngannou and DC Ozdemir on the other screen. Both of them on the same night. Fucking Chell P on free TV, Bellator, UFC, pay-per-view. Holy smokes, it's going down on January 20th. So you can meet me in the club. No, I'm just fucking around. But with that being said, Douglas Lima is looking to prove that he's one of the best in the world. Unfortunately, before we get out of here, I don't think if Douglas Lima beats Rory MacDonald, people are going to give him that credit, because Rory MacDonald, a lot of people recognize as one of the best welterweights in the world. But unfortunately, I'm telling you right now, as much as everybody says Rory's back because he beat Paul Daly, the second Rory MacDonald loses, people are going to say, whoever beats him, they're going to degrade that win and say Rory MacDonald lost because he's been through those wars with Robbie Lawler, so blah, blah, blah. He's not the same Rory MacDonald. People are going to say Rory was a shell of himself, even though he beat Paul Daly. if Rory MacDonald goes out here and loses to Douglas Lima, I don't think there's going to be many people saying Douglas Lima, that means you can beat Tyron Woodley, and it just is what it is. And even though Douglas Lima might be able to, a lot of people don't know about Douglas Lima or Diego Lima for that matter. Diego Lima was on the Ultimate Fighter Season 25 for the UFC, who's his brother, and Diego Lima made it all the way to the finale where he lost to Jesse Taylor, who, after that fight, when he was in camp for his next fight, his UFC debut, popped dirty. So who all knows how that played out? This Douglas Lima's brother could have won the Ultimate Fighter had it not been for the doping. I mean, we don't all know that's hearsay. Jesse Taylor has came out and said his piece afterward, but that's just a fact. Douglas Lima's brother, Diego Lima, did lose in the Ultimate Fighter to a guy that popped dirty right after that fight. So with that being said, Douglas Lima said what he had to say. Can't wait for the card. Just fucking crazy card. Hopefully I can talk to Felony Charles Bennett about that in the interview. What does he think about Bellator and the UFC competing on the same night? I would love his take on that. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.